Yeah, he's been patiently waiting here for his opponent. The vetoes are now done. And game 1 is going to be taking place on Dragon Scales.
Yeah, Dragon Scales on US West. So hopefully the nodality, no, the node? Yes, the node is going to be stable this time as we dip on in to Dragon Scales. We're in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in this bottom right-hand corner. We have our red Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He has been on a roll these past couple of days, and he is looking to keep that going with a KFC victory. He is representing Abydos. He is Cure.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have his opponent. We have the European Protoss, the German Protoss, representing big esports. It is ShoWTimE.
Wait, is it big esports?
Oh, big. He's big.
It is big. He is very big. I think I'm realizing now, Light, that the acronym that I came up with here for big, actually, I might have dreamt it. I don't think it's actually...
Brilliant.
I don't think it's actually reflective of anything. Berlin International Gaming, I don't think exists.
Hold on. No, yeah, it is.
Pretty sure it is.
It is.
Big.
No, it is. It's Berlin.
Oh.
International Gaming. Yeah. You didn't dream it. Maybe you did dream it, but you're
maybe I
right.
did dream it, but it's... yeah, maybe I did dream it, but coincidentally it was right.
There you go, mate. There you go. Dreams, they can come true.
Yeah. They're not always naive and dream in a world.
Yeah. Not always. I don't think they're a team anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, from what I understand, a lot of the players ended up getting picked up by Mystery Gaming.
Yeah, and SLT. And
they formed. Yeah.
Yeah, they got picked up by a bunch of the other teams instead. So a little bit of a feels bad, man. But regardless, we have our first game here of the Grand Finals. We've already been getting so much TvP tonight, but what is one more as Cure is going for that Rax expand?
Indeed, he is not cheesing it up just yet. He does want to wait until, he does want to wait until we get into the middle of this series a little bit, once he figures out how to proceed against ShoWTimE style, or potentially if he has a lead, maybe he'll just try to push the advantage. But this time, Cure's opening up very, very safe with just a standard 1-1-1.
Yeah, standard 1-1-1 opening here, and yeah, you love to see it. We've been getting a lot of 3-Raxes or 3-Rax variations tonight. Now maybe return to normalcy. Now maybe even even something like a Widowmine drop setup.
I don't buy it at all.
You're like, nah, mate. Standard play, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Who goes standard?
Not wrong. Like, could be casting innovation? No, mate.
No.
You didn't show.
He didn't actually. He signed up, but he didn't check in.
Yeah. I was so tempted to jump on innovation versus Wayne to start off the night, but he never showed.
Yeah. Never showed. I can't say I blame him. He's getting ready for tomorrow.
True. As the Adept does slip into the main base. We get a full scout of the main as well. Mind shot goes off.
Oh. 'Twas a bait. You thought the wall was not a wall. Well, it wasn't. But there was something behind that wall that hurt a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, ShoWTimE does get a full scout, though.
He does get a full scout at the cost of that. As that's meaning all the Oracle is going to try and dip on in, but the Marines are in position. We have been split off between the natural and the main. I love it. The Widowmine even going to try and reposition as well to try to catch that Oracle.
Yeah, in the end, Cure decides not to get too ahead of himself. He is just gonna burn that Widowmine at a bit of a safer location.
Exactly, here on the left-hand side to try and catch any of those Oracles. Meanwhile, we have gone into double Oracle opener, into a Phoenix behind this. Third base is being taken. Again, very reminiscent from what we've seen against Ryung in the semifinals between himself and ShoWTimE.
This has got to be the most normal game we're seeing tonight.
Yeah, 100%.
ShoWTimE, you know, obviously we know him to like his standard defensive play, but Cure, 1-1-1 into 2 more axes with a Raven as he just sets up his stim and works to get a and is working on a bio push. I mean, I won't be surprised if he doesn't pull the boys and he does make a third pretty shortly.
Yeah, you know, pretty standard setup here from 2 bases, 3 Raxes, the 1-1 as well. We do see the Cyclone in position. Oh, nice pickup there with that Phoenix to be able to break that lock on.
Yeah. So ShoWTimE doesn't take too much hull damage. He doesn't waste too much of his Oracle energy. He can still dip in later on to follow up scout or ideally get a couple of SCVs.
Exactly, still has them alive. Has to be careful. That mine, of course, is still here at the natural. Meanwhile, we do have that set up into the robotic spade to get into Colossus production. So again, what we expect to see. Oh!
Mine. Ooh, very quick pull away there from ShoWTimE. Very nice split with his air units too. Very quick save here from Cure, keeping that Widow Mine alive by lifting it into the medevac. And now it's time to go.
Mayhaw pick up there by Cure. We have a revelation on the army though, so ShoWTimE has eyes on everything. We'll see any kind of move out. Another lock on though, this time is gonna kill that Oracle.
And it was just enough, or just barely enough health there on that Oracle that it wasn't able to survive.
Yeah,
almost. If it took one more Cyclone volley, I don't think Cure would have spent a scan.
Oh, exactly. Meanwhile, we do see ShoWTimE trying to focus down that Raven. The Raven will barely survive, which is very important. We need that disable or the anti-armor missile. Up!
Like so. Coating the entire army in that anti-armor debuff. This shield battery looks very, very exposed. Interestingly enough, ShoWTimE prioritized Disruptors instead of Colossus.
Yeah, he went Disruptor first, and you know what? Here he wants that Disruptor. He dives on in. He does depower the Robo, and he will hunt down the Disruptor.
Takes it out before Purification Nova can come off cooldown. Also finds a very good choke point to utilize here against all of these Zealots. Second Disruptor does pop out, but it isn't able to nail any Purification Novas.
Doing too much. Make the Phoenix as they go down. The Disruptor goes down. GG gets called, and Cure takes game number 1.
Very, very quickly. I don't think Cure was even expecting to win off the back of that. He was setting up a third base back home. He was getting ready for a bit of a longer game, but yeah, once he realized, wait a minute, that's not a Colossus. He just dived on top of things and yeah, realized that all he really needed to do was stim and win.
100%. As soon as that Disruptor revealed itself, I'm pretty sure Cure smiled to himself.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're one and done, Papi. You just shot your load and now I can just run in. Oh, yeah. Boy. As soon as that Nova revealed itself again, he just stimmed on forward into that natural, hunted it down, positioned himself very nicely behind that mineral line, and there was not much that ShoWTimE could do. Very risky move from ShoWTimE, by the way, to go Disruptor first instead of Colossus.
Yeah, I'm actually scratching my head a little bit as to the choice here from ShoWTimE to go for Disruptors first. Maybe it is just a case of he knows it's a best of 5, so early on maybe he is just trying to experiment a little bit to see if he can get away with this, because if you recall, in his series against Ryung, he took things very, very seriously. He went Phoenix Colossus right from the start, and it worked out really well for him. It was a very strong, solid defensive unit composition. And this time, yeah, he did take quite a bit of a risk here, which is not something you normally expect from ShoWTimE, but I like it. I like it quite a bit.
It's possible
it didn't work out, but
it's possible he was a little bit overconfident because he did have the revelation on the army as well, by the way. Like, Cure moved out across the map and ShoWTimE saw it coming a mile away. So he probably didn't think that Cure would commit as hard as he did.
Yeah, it's one of those things where ShoWTimE said, I know you're coming for me. And Cure said, that's right, I am.
Oh my
what
God.
Are you gonna do about it?
What are you gonna do about it, mate? You gonna try and stop me?
We could come. Show me what you got. As we continue our best of 5 series now on Ancient Cistern. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spotting all the way. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have our blue Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He's going to be representing Abydos. We have Cure. Mayor 6 City.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Sister, we have his opponent. We have the South Korea. Oh, I'm so used to saying South Korean. We have the German Brodos player, maybe from the south of Germany. I don't know. Representing big, it is ShoWTimE.
Yo, he spent some time in the foreigner team house.
True.
He trained in South Korea for a bit.
Yeah, it's basically Korean.
Exactly. Yeah, might as. Yeah.
Yeah, he went to
What is
Korea
that
for
term?
GSL versus the world. You know, that's it. He stepped foot.
You know. Might as well be a resident of Shinlingdong,
There you
or
go.
whatever that neighborhood is called. You know, he's basically a Gangnam native.
Oh yeah, exactly. He's all about that gold minerals.
Yeah.
As we do have once again a Rax expand setup here from Cure, so very economic. Makes a lot of sense, especially on Ancient Sister, just because of how large this map is. As he's going to be going for an SCV scout, something that he has been looking to skip from time to time, but not this time.
Yeah, he's taking ShoWTimE quite seriously, you know. Just the very fact that, even though it didn't work out for him, the very fact that ShoWTimE went for Disruptors instead of Colossus, Cure now knows that ShoWTimE isn't going to be playing too predictably. He wants to be completely sure what he's up against.
Oh yeah, exactly. Doesn't want to get cheesed out here, especially after taking a bit of a lead in the series. Reaper's going to be moving out as well, again, just to keep eyes on his opponent. Back at home, no 3 racks to have that factory on the way.
Yeah, just 1-1-1. Well, probably a 1-1-1. It would be insane if he goes for a 3 CC before Starport in TvP, but he's playing this out fairly safe.
Oh yeah. Fun fact, do you know who did go for a greedy build like that earlier today?
Oh, in the TT2
Yeah.
replays? I'm gonna say... I don't think Coffee would have woken up early enough to play in it. I'm gonna say... a Latin American Terran player. We don't have too many of them.
Uh-huh. Mate, this morning it was wild. Miguelito Vindicta, mate. On altitude against Trigger, he went for a Rax expand into... He skipped his SCV scout, he skipped his Reaper, went Reactor first into a 3rd CC. He went Rax, CC, CC.
Against Trigger, you said?
Against Trigger, yeah. It was crazy. And he got away with it. He got away with it.
Of all players, he got away with it?
Yeah, he did. It was a good game.
God damn.
It was crazy.
God damn. That's the type of big brain I would expect from Dolan.
Yeah, no SCV scout, no Reaper first, Reactor first instead. Like, Vindicta was wild, and it made a lot of sense on altitude just because of how large it is, and he wasn't punished for it. It was crazy. It was crazy.
God damn. I hope Cure was taking notes.
Oh god, I don't think I'm ever gonna see that again, but we'll see. As we do have the first Oracle zooming across the map again, Cure did confirm the Stargate opener, and because of that, we do have our units split up between our bases. Cure is ready to defend against at least the first Oracle.
Yeah. Taking this once again, Cure's just taking this very, very seriously. Another Raven is coming out from him. Yeah. It's just funny to see the difference between the amount of respect Cure is showing ShoWTimE and the amount of disrespect he showed Max Pax a couple minutes ago.
And he's playing the player, and it does make a lot of sense as 2 probes are going to be going down. Oh, the Reaper doing more damage than it really should have, to be honest. Meanwhile, these Oracles have to find some counter damage as they do go into the natural.
And they get 2 SCVs, which isn't bad. More importantly, though, he keeps his Oracles alive, so they can continue to utilize your utility as the game continues. Maybe throw down a couple of stasis wards defensively, or even just dip in and reveal the army of Cure if need be. I'm not sure if that's going to stop Cure, though, but it'll give ShoWTimE time to defend.
Very little can stop Cure, mate. He's going into a very similar setup as he did last game. You know, we have our 3-1-1 here off of 2 bases. We have +1 attack on the way as well for Cure. He should be working on towards that push once he gets his Medivacs out. Before that happens, the Oracles are looking to find a little bit more damage. The Viking, not quite here in position in the main, and we're going to get some SCV kills.
Yeah, that poor Viking went so far in the middle of the map to try to hunt down these Oracles, but the Oracles were right under its nose this entire time, and ShoWTimE is actually getting a lot of damage done. 5 SCVs go down, and the Oracles stay alive. That's well worth it right now for ShoWTimE.
Yeah, at the same time, one Hellion gets 3 probe kills as well. Like, Cure's getting a surprising amount of damage with these first handful of units here, so he's able to reciprocate some of that damage. And once again, ShoWTimE is going Disruptor first.
Huh. I have questions. I have a lot of questions, actually. I mean, I guess maybe ShoWTimE is familiar with something that Cure does in TvP, because, again, this feels like something that ShoWTimE playing the player as opposed to him just playing a normal matchup.
Yeah, I mean, this is really interesting because, okay, we do see ShoWTimE, he makes 1 Disruptor, only 1, and then goes into the Colossus behind that, so he's going to have more robust, more diversified splash damage, but before that happens, we do have a singular drop being split off, going across the map. Oh, and it is going to be caught out.
Yeah, Medivac already utilizes boost. No, Phoenixes! Yes, they do get on top of this Medivac, and Cure has a decision to make. He has to unload in the base. He knows he can't make it out of here. So he's going to try to get as much damage as possible before these Marines go down, and actually don't get any damage.
Yeah, but at the same time, we do see Cure moving on now. He does take down the Observer. This has been spotted, so ShoWTimE is fully aware that the army is moving in towards the 3rd base. He's moving his entire army. He's repositioning here, and it looks like he will be able to get here in time.
Yeah, these Phoenixes want to get the Raven more than anything else. 1 disable. Cure has 2 disables available on him. If he disables the Colossus, I think this is just about game. Anti-armor lands on the main army. Interference Matrix utilized on the Disruptor rather than the Colossus.
Yeah, the Colossus was actually further back. I don't think Cure saw the Colossus, so because of that, ShoWTimE pushes on forward, and the Nova goes off.
And we'll be able to take out a mine at the very least, and yeah, this was, I think, Cure getting... I mean, you can't really blame Cure because he saw an opportunity and he pounced on it, but once again, I do think that if he disabled the Colossus, that would have been the end of that engagement. Provided ShoWTimE, provided he splits against ShoWTimE's Purification over, of course.
I wanna believe that ShoWTimE purposefully kept his Colossus further behind to keep it hidden from a Cure to kind of lure him into a false sense of security and to pull that off.
I'm sure that's what it was. Maybe this Disruptor was just a bait at the very end.
Yeah. I think so, actually.
Yeah, because he's focusing more on his Colossus production now. This was, yeah, a really good bait switch from ShoWTimE.
Yeah, I do really appreciate it here, as we do see Cure doing what he does best, and that is a multi-pronged aggression. We have a force towards the right-hand side, a force towards the north as well, looking to pull apart the army of ShoWTimE. We'll see if he can.
Yeah, this is Cure doing what he does best in the matchup, which, like you said, is going for these multi-pronged attacks. Cure is somebody who really understands how to utilize split forces. He knows when to retreat when it comes to when he has to, and yeah, ideally he's just going to be able to stretch his opponent's multitasking beyond their limits.
What I love is he didn't drop into the main base because he knew that the Phoenixes were missing. The Widowmine shots are going to be going up, but it looks like Cure is going to lose this army.
Yeah, the Marines have just about been dealt with, so Phoenixes are going to continue lifting up those units, but now that Zealots are being dealt with, if not for these Phoenixes, I think Cure would have 100% tried to pounce on that Colossus, so it was a very important positioning here for ShoWTimE.
It really was, but the reinforcements show up and the majority of those Medivacs are going to be saved. At the same time, in comes Cure from behind. He wants a Colossus.
He wants it so badly, but Thermal Lance did finish up, and he is keeping that Colossus in the back for quite a bit. Marines are starting to fall a little bit to the Colossus, but the Phoenixes are getting a little bit ahead of themselves. Great EMP on top of the majority of these Phoenixes. That's going to really cut into the Graviton and the lifting potential.
Yeah, but now we have our 3 Colossus. That is the sweet spot here for PvT, and now we're transitioning into more Disruptor production instead, and Cure has to respect that he is incorporating some of those ghosts as he gets to 4th.
The question I have is, where are the Liberators for Cure?
Oh, we haven't gotten there yet. Just focusing on Bio Ghost Viking for now. And as you're saying, hopefully he doesn't stay on it for too long. He's going to try and find whatever he can. Goes for a scan, does spot the army.
And he has a decision to make. He knows that the Phoenixes aren't quite in position. Actually, I don't think he caught the Phoenixes. Yeah, so he is now going to confirm that. But yeah, at this point, it's a little too late to try to go for a Doom Drop into the main base.
Oh, exactly. A Doom Drop will not work out here. ShoWTimE going to be rerouting his army here towards the north. Going to be forcing Cure back. At the same time, we have a Prism headed towards the main of Cure.
And I don't know if Cure is prepared for this at all. He's definitely not anticipating this. Nope, I stand corrected. He had a couple of Vikings right outside that main base just for a possibility like this. He's going to be hunting down that War Prism. He wants to take it out. He wants it so badly. He's chasing it down.
He really does. At the same time, ShoWTimE is moving out with his own main army, so that's going to force a reaction out of Cure. It's going to force him to back on off here.
The War Prism went down.
Yeah. Prism did go down. Oh.
I guess it's not the most impactful. There were only Zealots in that Prism instead of High Templar, but still, that's one less fewer thing for Cure to worry about.
It really is. He does force a cancel here on the 5th base of ShoWTimE. He can't really commit into a fight, though. There are a lot of disruptors.
Yeah, and he's going to try to shave away the gateway units and throw down a couple of EMPs where he can, but like you said, he can't really commit to this fight, at least not with this army. Cure, I thought it was going to go for some multi-prongs, but it looks like he's going to reinforce this army with the rest of its forces.
Oh, nice scan. He does spot the Observer. He will shut it down. Now ShoWTimE is going to have a harder time figuring out where the army is headed. ShoWTimE correctly reading this, though, is going to be repositioning here on the right-hand side.
Yeah, he knows that Cure, even if he were to attack with that Bioforce to the left, he wouldn't really be able to get much done. Very juicy Purification Nova is going to be enough to at least halt the aggression of Cure, at least on the right side of the map.
Yeah, that was an insane Nova. It does take a massive chunk out of the supply of Cure. Is going to force him back, and that is going to give ShoWTimE a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, we'll see how he utilizes that. Both players are now about maxed out, so it is just a positional battle from here on out. Who gets us around first?
Looks like ShoWTimE is going to be consolidating his army here in the middle of the map. At the same time, Cure's getting ready for a counterattack. ShoWTimE has to split up once again.
Yeah, that's exactly what Cure wants for the time being. He wants to be able to... I guess both players really didn't want to be able to win that defeat in detail. Great lifts on top of these ghosts before they can even land any MPs. That's a lot of resources down the drain right now for Cure.
Yeah, and the entire army of ShoWTimE is just conversing here on this army. It looks like Cure is going to lose everything.
Yeah, that's a massive chunk of his supply. Cure decides, I'm not going to fight this. I'm going to go for a full-on base trade. And if you push into me, I'm going to hope that my defenses and my reinforcements are going to be enough to defend.
Collapsing is the word that I was looking for.
Yeah. Converging works as well.
Yeah, we are going for a full base trade. ShoWTimE, he also has the option to recall. Bear that in mind as Cure's going to try and get on top of these robos.
And he powers both of them, which is a pretty good start here. And he's just going to try to take out as many probes as possible. ShoWTimE is more than willing to play the base game, the base trade game, and we'll be taking out so much. DT's being warped in.
Wow, the DTs are going to be massive. Do we have any? We do have a couple of scans available. There we go. But the Vikings, can they fight the DTs? It looks like they can't.
Yeah, DTs are just a little bit too tanky here for those Vikings. Vikings are great against mechanical units, not so much against bio.
Yeah, and DTs may just be the winning move here for ShoWTimE. He's going to be busting in towards the natural base. Another CC is going to be lifting. I guess we do have EMPs available, to be fair, but here we go. Here come the DTs.
Oh, and they do get EMP'd. Not all of them, though, so Cure is forced to scan once again. This Bioforce is starting to really get thinned out. Meanwhile, over in the... Oh! Over on the other side of the map, in Cure's main, SimCity is working a little bit against his favor as these disruptors are able to land a couple of Purification Novas.
Yeah, the Novas were insane. Cure actually had a higher army supply until those Novas did connect. So now Cure is in a bit of a rougher situation. DTs do clean up the harassing force across the map. Cure is down to 2 mining bases. Or 1, really.
Yeah, compared to ShoWTimE, who is on 1.5, and more importantly, also has a better army, if you ask me.
ShoWTimE doesn't have any probes. He has 5 workers right now. So Cure did a great job at focusing down and crippling the economy of ShoWTimE. What ShoWTimE does have, though, is that army.
And he does. Cure doesn't have a lot of production here. He is waiting for... Yeah, he's waiting for ShoWTimE to sort of get into a bit of an open position where he can turn around and go for a full surround. Is he pulling the boys or is he long distance fighting? He's pulling the boys. And here comes that surround we were talking about. Oh, a couple of very juicy Purification Novas are able to hit, and they are able to connect with Marauders mostly. These Colossus are having a much easier time dealing with Marines, but it looks like just enough units of Cure did survive.
The Colossus stands strong. Everything else dies bar 1 Stalker, 1 Disruptor, and the 3 Colossus have survived everything. And now Cure, he's trying to muster up his army. We have 2 more DTs coming in as well, and I don't think we have a scan.
Yeah, he's going to have to wait a little while before that. I'm thinking that Cure is hoping to get enough Marauders to just dive on top of these Colossus, take them out, and hope for the best. There is some detection here with the turret.
Yeah, the turret does reveal one of those DTs, and here we go. We have to pull the trigger. We're diving on in. We get the scan.
You get the scan. Oh! Purification Nova did get whiffed. The DT goes down, but so do a lot of the Marines. There are only a handful of Marauders left here. Cure underestimated the Phoenixes by the looks of things, but still, we're in a position where ShoWTimE can't rebuild, Cure can't rebuild. ShoWTimE's trying to rebuild. He does have a couple of units out.
Yeah,
or he does have a couple of workers out, sorry.
Yeah, ShoWTimE pulled all the... Cure pulled all the boys, so because that his economy isn't really much to speak of. We have 2 Colossus, 3 Stalkers, and 3 Phoenixes. Now 4 Stalkers here to defend, and Cure can't fight this. He doesn't have enough.
He's making a Ghost right now?
Yeah,
I guess the EMP to Phoenixes, but I don't think that's even going to be enough.
There we go.
And he whiffs the EMP.
The EMP does connect with the Stalkers instead, and the blink is too good. Cure, he just can't engage.
Oh, this is pure copium from Cure. This is pure unadulterated copium coming out from Cure. He wants to be able to at least force a tie, but it ain't gonna happen. ShoWTimE is rebuilding his economy. And again, he just has a much better army.
I love this. Yeah, there is no detection, so these mines are going to be able to go off. A couple of units will go down, and Cure is going to be going for a counterattack to try and cripple the economy, but we have enough energy for a recall.
We really, really do. He's trying to bait out these mine hits. There's detection here with the cannon, and yeah, with that going down, Cure knows he cannot fight that. GG's called. ShoWTimE ties us up 1-1 in an apocalyptic game number 2. That was... oh, man.
That was so damn close. Honestly, those first 2 Novas in the main base of Cure, if they didn't get juicy connections, then Cure probably would have been able to win that fight and win the game. Those first 2 Novas got so much supply.
Yeah, not just any supply either. They got the Marauders, which were really the biggest threat there to Cure. I want to say that even if those Novas connected with only Marines, Cure would have had a chance to take out the army. It would have still been doable, but ShoWTimE clutched out the Novas in the end. He knew exactly what he had to target, and he went straight for it. GG.
GG, well played. And now we have a tied up series. We're going to be getting into game number 3.
Oh. Not quite our ace match, but a little bit of a tiebreaker here. Unless we get another tie in game number 4.
Let's go, puppy. Let's go. Oh. And yeah, we'll see how this does go here. Who's going to be able to take a lead in this series? Is it going to be ShoWTimE? Is it going to be Cure? Are we going to see another proxy, which we saw last time on this map?
We'll see. We'll figure it out. as we continue our series now on Gresvan, we're in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We have a blue Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He is the mayor of Sick City himself, representing Abydos. He's gonna be representing NVT, whatever that means. He is Cure.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan, we have his opponent. We have the not South Korean, the German Protoss player representing Big. It is ShoWTimE. Tying up the series 1-1 in a very close game number 2.
Very, very close. And now, we'll see if he has anything up his sleeve to try to take that lead here, as I'm suspicious of this probe. Looks pretty normal, but it's a probe, so I'm still suspicious.
Probes are, yeah, they are just suspicious by nature. Just how they are, who they be. I'm shaking my head.
Yeah. SMH.
SMH, as we do see Cure setting up once again for another Rax expand. Likewise, ShoWTimE goes for a gate expand, going for that Nexus here. So pretty economic and pretty standard openers here from both of our players.
Yeah. Why would we expect anything different, really, based on how the series has shaped up so far? I would expect Cure to whip something out a little bit, especially in the middle of the series when both players are tied up here. But yeah, I guess he, again, is just playing the player. He does expect ShoWTimE to be able to defend well against any cheeses early on.
Yeah, I expect him to cheese after he gets a lead. If Cure gets a lead, if Cure wins this game, the next game he cheeses. I'm calling it. Oh god, but we'll see where we end up, as once again we have a factory follow-up, so no 3 axes coming out from Cure. Not this time, not on Gresvan.
Yeah, not just yet.
As the Reaper dips into the main base, does get eyes on the Stargate, so he's fully aware about the opener, he's fully aware to prepare for Oracles or Phoenixes back at home.
And he'll have that ability, yeah. I can see it right now, and by see it, I mean remember it. Cyclone gonna come out from the tech lab in the factory, and it's gonna chase away the Oracles and the Phoenix as well, you know?
Yeah, interesting, because we don't have the
everything
most...
we saw.
Yeah, we do
actually
have a Rax following that factory instead of a starport. We're going to be getting that Cyclone, but again, we're going to be focusing a little more on bioproduction from here.
Yeah, for the first time, it's not a straight-up 1-1-1.
Yeah.
And the onus right now is very much on ShoWTimE to be able to recognize that.
Yeah, we've been seeing this a lot. We saw this from Ryung, if you recall. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a third Rax as well, just to lay that starport even further and focus on a big bio push a little bit later on. So yeah, we'll see if Cure is able to keep this hidden, if he's going to be able to hit that timing. Before that happens, though, ShoWTimE is going across the map, but only with a single Oracle.
Yeah, unlike the previous games, ShoWTimE isn't going for any double Oracles, so he's not looking to be too aggressive with his harassment. He is just going to be scouting with his single Oracle and then popping out Phoenixes for defense, which isn't a bad call, considering how Cure is prioritizing bio production.
Yeah, exactly. So a little bit less committed here from ShoWTimE. Because of this, he's going to be able to get into Phoenix production a lot faster, as well as that Robo production, as the Robo is thrown down.
Like so. Yeah, I should be seeing that Robo Bay coming down as well. I'd be very surprised if ShoWTimE goes for another Disruptor this time.
Yeah, massive revelation here on the production of Cure, but Cure is already moving out. These are Vanilla Marines, but by the time they get across the map, they will have Stim. We even have these 2 Cyclones, so the Oracles and the Phoenixes aren't going to be able to do too much.
Not a whole lot. They will have Stim, but they won't have Medivacs just yet. So Cure does have to watch out for the longevity of this Bioforce. He's gonna be relying a lot on Cyclones, and he doesn't want to, I was gonna say he doesn't want to send them for it too quickly and immediately get them picked off, but yeah, thankfully Cure is able to regroup.
Yeah, here we go. Stim is now done. We do have a pickup here on the first cycle, but Marines, they don't care. They're focusing down the Phoenixes.
Yeah, shield battery is here. Battery overcharge does get popped, but Cure is more than willing. Just back away and take out probes as they move forward, as they get pulled.
Yeah, with that, 5 probes go down, 2 Phoenixes and a Sentry, so not a bad trade here for Cure. He only lost a handful of Marines and a Cyclone, as we do see another revelation confirming that Cure is reinforcing.
Yeah, he really wasn't too committed with that push, which is important, but like you pointed out, he is reinforcing, he is trying to get medevacs across the map with these additional Marines as quickly as possible, so he can keep the pressure going. RoboBay did just finish up here for ShoWTimE, and we should be seeing a Colossus after this Immortal pops out.
I love this. We're even kind of leapfrogging here with our shield batteries, making sure we are safe and sound. The Oracle dips on in across the map, and we'll get 1 SCV kill, but only 1. Again, Cure is focusing on his army. The medevacs have arrived. He can top up those Marines.
Cure pulled out of gas, interestingly enough. Okay, it was just a response to the Oracle.
Yeah. Just trying to keep them safe and sound. And meanwhile, ShoWTimE is going for a pylon, and it looks like he will spot the drop.
Yeah, somewhat inadvertently, and he will be pulling his units back to defend against them, especially his Phoenixes, but at least his third base wide open.
Oh, it really does. We're going to try and focus down this pylon. Looks like every single unit here in the main base is going to be going down, but at the same time, the second army does cancel that Nexus.
Oh, the Colossus is exposed, but Cure doesn't want to deal with that when he only has Marines and there is support of a shield battery there. ShoWTimE, his attention is being stretched quite a bit. He went down to deal with the force that was on top of the Colossus. He went down with most of his army, but didn't really realize that the medevac was still in play. The medevac with those 8 Marines was still very much in play.
Yeah, and that was really impressive because even though I was pretty sure that that drop was just going to die horribly and not really get too much damage, Cure, he focus fired 9 of those probes, and now ShoWTimE, he's down in the economy, he's down in bases. We do see the third base already getting set up here by Cure. Like, Cure is miles ahead in so many different ways.
Oh, yeah. He's setting up the rest of his production. He's creating a very potent anti-Phoenix Colossus force with Vikings and Widow Mines. He's trying to sneak into the main base, but ShoWTimE sees this.
He doesn't. He didn't notice it. Here we go. The drop it comes in. The Madman in the face of Phoenixes. He goes for a Doom drop, and he pulls it off.
And somehow, he is able to make it in here. Widow Mines do burrow, so these Phoenixes are going to have a very tough time getting on top of the army. Ooh. Very nice split on that Zealot in the end, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough.
Yeah, the mines, they find their connections on almost every single Phoenix, and once they go down, we can just pick up and leave. That's exactly what we see.
Yeah, there aren't enough Phoenixes, there aren't enough Stalkers to really cut the retreat here. With the medevacs, I love this with the Cyclone. Yeah. He even just secures the retreat here for these medevacs. He's making sure that the Phoenixes are unable to get on top of this, and for the first time in this entire tournament, ShoWTimE is feeling pressured to go across the map and be aggressive.
ShoWTime's all in. I mean, he is 100% all in right now. He has to end the game, but the Vikings are here. The clusters are exposed. No!
Cure is able to force a couple of pickups here, but once again, there's barely any anti-air. All the Phoenixes and most of the Stalkers were taken out earlier on. These Vikings having a very good time dealing with the Warpism and then the Colossus. GG. Cure takes game number 3, gets himself a little bit of a lead, and more importantly, impresses everyone. Impresses everyone watching with that effective multi-prong harass.
GG, well played. Cure does take a lead in this series, and in what a fashion as well, for him to just pull apart ShoWTimE left and right. ShoWTimE just had such a hard time keeping up, and the focus firing as well, not just when it comes to the workers, but also the production. He sniped the Cyber Core, he sniped the Stargate as well in the main base. It was insane what Cure was able to pull off, and yeah, now he is 1 game away from becoming this week's KungFu Cup champion.
Un game, papi.
Un momento.
Un, juga Jugadores player. So un juga.
Un Messi.
That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Un Messi. Un Pele.
Felix! Exactly, Bob. Exactly. That is what we are one game away from. Cure so close here, and yeah, he's already taken down MaxPax. What is one more European Protoss?
What is one more? He was mad. You could tell he was mad that game number 2 got that close and he ended up losing it. Game number 3, he gloves were off, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just proxies immediately now. In game number 4, as we dive into Babylon, over here in the bottom right-hand corner map, spotting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our blue Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He is the mayor of Six City himself, representing Abydos, as well as NVT, whatever that means. We have Cure.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Babylon, we have his opponent. We have the German Protoss player. He is red, he is big, but he is down in this series. Can he bring it back? It is ShoWTimE.
He's going to try, and I believe in ShoWTimE. I believe in Dimauer.
Yeah, I believe he does have it in him, but it's not just on him, it's also on his opponent. It's also on Cure. Can he pull one over on him as the Rax is at home?
Oh. That's suspicious. That is sus.
ShoWTimE clearly winning the mental battle.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Alright, so nothing too spicy to kick things off. You know, I was all on board the Cure proxy hype train once he gets a lead in this series, but it looks like that is not meant to be. Looks like he's just going to be calming down here.
Yeah, he already got satiated with his cheeses against MaxPax, so I guess that was the appetizer for him. Now he's getting into that main course.
Oh, exactly. And we are going into a Rax expand, but we are also going to be skipping our SCV Scout, and we're skipping the Reaper as well.
Interesting.
So Cure, a man with no fear, just being a little bit greedy here, cutting some corners. He's going to be giving up on early game scanning information, confident that ShoWTimE would not risk his life here in this tournament, doing something crazy in the early game.
Yeah, this is definitely Cure reading the player, I think, recognizing that ShoWTimE isn't one to take unnecessary risks, even if he's behind. 3 racks? 3 racks coming up from Cure. First time we're seeing this in this series, right?
Yeah. First time we're seeing it in this series. If you remember, he did do a variant of this against MaxPax, the game that he...
On the same map.
Yeah, on the same map. We had some latency issues at the time, but Cure was able to get the win over MaxPax on this.
He's cracked the code. Cure's cracked the code. If he 3-raxes on Babylon, he will be able to force latency. But then again, we are on US Central this time, so...
There we go, as the Raxes are on the way. ShoWTimE is in the dark. He is opening up with a Stargate, though, so he's going to be able to get some scan information. Oh boy, and that's information that he's going to desperately need.
Yeah, and we'll see if he has enough time to react with it as well. Already seeing this amount of Marines mentally prepares him a little bit. He knows that he needs to defend against some kind of aggression, but... yeah, he really does need the Oracle to confirm what it is and to figure out what he builds and where.
Yeah, exactly. We have seen very beautiful defenses, 3-axe defenses on this map already. You know, prioritizing your robot for immortal production, getting the sentry and making use of this ramp as well. But we've also seen Cure kind of jump on those opportunities, so it's not going to be that clear cut.
Yeah, we'll see. That's what he did against MaxPax, funnily enough. Great reveal here from ShoWTimE. He confirms his 3 racks, and he confirms the research as well.
Yeah, he sees everything. Now ShoWTimE is fully aware. There we go, shield battery on the way at the natural. Robo as well for that immortal production. He is taking the necessary steps to defend. Hopefully he doesn't lose too much, though, because he's actually looking to be active here with his double oracles and his adepts as well.
Hero? Is that you?
True. As Kira's moving out very quickly, and he may be caught out of position here as the Adepts are about to go in. Uh-oh.
Yeah, might be a little bit of a misstep here from Cure to scout the Oracles and decide, yeah, I'm not gonna chase them down. I'm just gonna go across the map.
Oh.
ShoWTimE finds a little bit of an opportunity to dive on top of the workers, but so far hasn't been able to get much damage done. I guess the most important thing right now for ShoWTimE is probably just to buy himself some time. So the fact that Cure had to pull back and it did also stim was a huge victory here for ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE setting up a ninja?
This is so smart. I love it. The ninja base is on the way again. So when Cure moves out and when he can't go up this ramp because of all these force fields, he's going to be looking to deny the third, and ShoWTimE's going to be stuck and contained on 2 bases. Well, how do you bypass that? Ninja base.
Yeah. How do you bypass being contained? Just break out before they squeeze you.
Well, exactly. Meanwhile, across the map, the Oracles are looking to find whatever they can. Cure checks the triangular third, sees nothing, and soon he may even check the linear one as well. And yeah, like ShoWTimE, he's getting away with this for now, at least.
He's getting away with so much. Cure is checking the third base locations, but he has no idea about the ninja.
Oh, he's checking the northern sections of the map, and it looks like he's not quite checking the bottom left.
I mean, who would take that base, you know? Cure smells that something is up. He recognizes that ShoWTimE's not going to be able to sustain his army without a third base, but now he's now he's questioning himself a little bit. He will send a Marine to the south, though, to confirm this.
Yeah, he does finally get eyes on the third base. That Marine was on a move, so ShoWTimE is fully aware as well, and now we're going to be seeing some really interesting interactions. Cure, he's chasing down that third. Likewise, ShoWTimE is chasing down Cure. Oh.
Yeah, it was a very risky maneuver here from ShoWTimE, as of course, getting that ninja is great, but once it gets scouted, it is so isolated from the rest of your bases that you pretty much have to give it up. ShoWTimE does move forward. He has a Colossus and he has a couple of Immortals, so it's still a pretty good army here for ShoWTimE.
Oh, it really is, but Cure wants to get a kill on this Nexus. We have a force field and we do peel off some of these units, but the Nexus is getting low. Up.
Yeah, I think ShoWTimE will just not be able to save that Nexus. Oh, I got so close for a second, and meanwhile, Cure even splits up his forces and takes out the pylon. He takes out the follow-up third base that ShoWTimE wanted to go for. This has been a disastrous start from ShoWTimE. Very, very clever. But unfortunately, Cure is just a little bit too vigilant when it comes to scouting.
Yeah, I mean, he scouted that Nexus late, and I don't know if you saw, but that it went down to the last Marine. Literally, the last Marine with the last shot killed that Nexus. It was so close. But that also cost Cure a lot of bio, and ShoWTimE has a pretty large army. He's got 2 Colossi, 2 Immortals, not too much on the ground to support him, but some very high-tech units, a lot of force fields, a lot of sentries. Up!
Yeah, we do have a couple of Widow Mines on the ground, though, for Cure, so that's a pretty good start to this engagement. I'm with you, Light. I'm not sure if Cure is feeling confident enough to take on 2 Colossus when he doesn't have any tanks, when he doesn't have too many Marauders supporting this either.
Yeah, he's going to have to pull some boys here in the defense. He's going to be coming in from the right-hand side as well. And ShoWTimE, as soon as he gets into the natural, he just force field the ramp, and that's exactly what he does. Yeah,
there are no massive units here for Cure. He cannot break those force fields. You could really see he wanted to go for a full surround. He was pulling his boys and setting it up here, but ShoWTimE just doesn't let him get in. Or does he?
Oh, yeah, there we go. The force fields are thrown down. The boys are being pulled. So many SCVs are falling here. ShoWTimE is doing an insane amount of damage, and he can also try to recall. He does pick up. He's forced into a corner.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate for ShoWTimE as Cure realizes, wait a minute, I have medevacs. Let me just lift up and try to get on top of this. ShoWTimE makes it out of here with most of his high-tech units still alive, or one of his high-tech units, 1 Colossus still alive. Oh no, actually both of them survived. There we go. And he picks up a lot of workers, so now Cure is forced all in.
Yeah, there we go. How the pendulum does swing. Now ShoWTimE has to be the defender. We got a lot of army supply right now. Cure has so much to work with, and we spent a lot of energy on those force fields earlier. ShoWTimE is not going to have as much to defend. He's in trouble.
There's one full energy sentry, but that's about it. Purification Nova does get a pretty good connection, but is it good enough? Cure still has a massive army supply lead, and he's cutting off this army.
He is cutting off that army. There's not a lot to support these Colossi, and there we go. The Colossi are going to be going down one after the other. The Vikings are going to be able to focus down that Prism. GG gets called, and Cure takes the series 3-1.
Fairly close series. All things considered, it was a very close finals that we had here. I loved the TvP that we just witnessed. ShoWTimE had a lot of really, really smart ideas. I loved that idea with the ninja there. I loved in game number 2, was it? I think it was game number 2, where he went for the bait and switch. He got one disruptor just to try to bait an interference matrix out from Cure, and it worked so well from him. Unfortunately, Cure's decisiveness in the games that followed were just a little bit too much. It didn't matter how well ShoWTimE was able to prepare. Cure was just able to punch his way through.
Yeah, exactly. Cure was just so damn decisive. So, you used the word earlier, so vigilant as well when it comes to recognizing that something was amiss and was able to just barely punish that ninja base. Remember, he was just barely able to get a kill on it, which forced which was like the first domino to fall. You know, he kills the ninja, forces a reaction, he loses his natural, forces a recall, then he goes for his own counterattack. Like, that was such a wild game, and yeah, really impressive stuff. And I think the other thing to take note of as well that I'm really impressed by is that over the past week in ESL Cup Asia, Cure, he beat Hero to become the ESL Asia champion. Here in KungFu Cup, he takes down MaxPax and ShoWTimE. And I believe he even beat Creator in ESL Asia as well. So he's taken down like every single Protoss player in the world, every notable Protoss, just not standing a chance against Cure.
He's coming after you, Max Angel.
I don't think he needs to, Papi. I think he's happy with the wins that he's gotten. Cure, his TvP is on fire right now.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And that's going to be pretty important to keep in mind, because, of course, there are a lot of Protoss players that he's going to have to face up against in GSL, in WTL, and eventually in ESL Masters. I would be surprised if Cure doesn't make it to that main event.
Yeah, exactly. He's definitely someone to keep an eye on because he's just been doing so damn well for himself. GG, well played. Congratulations to Cure for becoming this week's champion. Multiple-time champion, actually. I say that. Like, you know, he won KungFu Cup a couple of days ago, won ESL Asia, winning everything.
Yeah. Once again, I mean, I feel like we see it every season. We see it with Cure, where we see him meteorically rise in the weekly events, and that does translate pretty well into offline events. I think he won the first Code S he won against Zest. For weeks and weeks and weeks, he was dominating ESL Asia beforehand, and even ESL NA when he was awake for them. It's a pretty good time to be a Cure fan right now.
Yeah, and I didn't even realize this, by the way, because I wasn't casting it. You were casting it, you and Kuro. Shout out to Yaku and Kuro, by the way. They casted KungFu Cup last week. But last week, Cure, he took down Creator in the semis, 2-1, and he 3-0'd Hero in the finals of KungFu Cup last week. So back-to-back.
Oh, yeah, I already forgot about that.
Well, you didn't cast the finals, to be fair.
But yeah. It is accurate. You didn't have to start that production crash course, but yeah, Cure is on a tear. If I were a team captain / manager, I would not want to send out our Protoss players against Cure in WTL.
Not at all, mate. Not at all. So, oh my god, I'm looking at what happened last week, because again, I wasn't able to be present for that, and I wasn't able to cast it. Last week, Cure, he didn't just 3-0 Hero, he didn't just 2-1 Creator, he also 2-0'd MaxPax as well. Like, oh my god. Yep. Even last week, he was all over it. So, yeah, Cure, just give him a Protoss, and doesn't matter who it is, he will shut them down. GG, congratulations. Who hurt him? What made him this way? These are questions that we need to answer. Maybe it was Max Angel. Maybe that's...
It could have been. I like to imagine he just heard that Stats was coming back from the military and he's like, not again! My TvP will be impeccable.
There you go, mate. He wants to send him packing. Send him back. Smooch. But yeah, with that, hope everyone in the chat enjoyed themselves. I know that we did. I know it's quite late here. It's now 2 a.m. in Australia, and I know it's getting quite late in Singapore as well. But it was well worth it.
Just past midnight, yeah.
Yeah. Really good games.
It really was. Yeah, I agree.
There we go. Back to zero channel. Ranger doubled down and he went all in on ShoWTimE. God damn it.
Yes, of course he did, you know?
Yeah, it was actually 75% of the predictions were in favor of ShoWTimE. So one person bet on
How much
Pure.
of that was in?
Whoever
okay.
Yeah, I think it was Frost.
I was gonna say. Huge payout coming down here for Frost. Hope you enjoyed those channel points, you know?
There you go. Congratulations.
Spend them well.
Oh god. Speaking of, thank you so much as well to Blake Adu's in the chat once again for the 100 bits. Thank you, Papi. We always appreciate the support that we get, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. We've been doing a lot of replay casts here on the CranKy Ducklings to catch up, but finally we get a live tournament, and thank you so much, Yaku, for joining me today. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Come down here. Insane games that we've had here. Following Ryung's run has been fantastic. I'm always glad.
Oh, yeah. True. If you tune in a little bit later, I highly recommend you tune in to the VOD because Ryung looked so damn good tonight as well. Didn't become the champion, but still had a good run nonetheless. And with that, if you want to tune into some Crab Champions, maybe even a little bit of StarCraft ladder, Yaku, where can they find you?
Well, Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. I'm going to try to stream tomorrow since we don't have anything on that day. I might stream later, depending on, you know, how I feel. But we'll see about that. I'll announce when and if I go live. We're at twitter.com @EmpораYakuzaku. And !Discord is where you can find me directly. And Light as well. And Kuro as well. And everyone as well.
We're all in Discord. We're all in Discord. I was just about to ask you if you were up for a cast tomorrow, but if
are we?
No,
Maybe.
I mean it's our first day off in a while, so I think it's okay. It's okay. You can stream, Papi. It's fine. It's fine. I was very tempted
will
to
I stream?
I was very tempted to maybe try and organize a GSL cast tomorrow. But we don't have to. We can take our time with the GSL cast. Yeah. I know we've had a pretty intense week already, like with so many casts back to back to back.
Cool.
So tomorrow may be our first day off in a while.
We'll see.
Yaku's like, maybe I am free to cast. I don't know. So keep an eye out on our social media, whether we cast tomorrow or not. You'll find out. If we don't cast, then yeah, maybe we'll just stream on our personal channels. You can follow me at light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I will stream throughout the week. I haven't been streaming this week because we've been casting so much, but if ever we have a day where we don't cast, I'll be live on my channel. Be live.
Getting Diablo
Yeah.
away.
I need to finish the final act of Diablo. You're not wrong. I need to finish Diablo. I need a ladder. I haven't laddered in a week. I'm rusty, Papi. I need to ladder. I need to smooch.
Now is my time.
Now is my time. So you can follow me there if you're interested. Otherwise, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. If you want some more CranKy Duckling action, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We have that Discord server, and we also have a Patreon page as well. You can see our goal just beneath us. Our Patreon is set up to help fund the tournaments that we run, and to fully fund our tournaments, it will be that 300 goal, and hopefully we can get there at some point. After that, the next goal will be to make our tournaments weekly. That'd be amazing if we could make our tournaments a little bit more consistent, but until then, we're going to be running them bi-weekly as best we can.
Yeah.
There you go.
With that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm Frost. I know we've been putting up your replay. We've been casting all the other replays. We're caught up. We even casted yesterday. We casted Demi's replay.
Demi.
The day before that, we casted Night Phoenix's replay. We casted Sounders. It's 2 a.m. puppy.
Oof.
Unless Yaku, do you want one more?
How long is it?
I don't know. Actually.
I could go for food right about now.
Yeah. I don't want to do that to you, Poppy. It's okay. Next time we will cast that Frost replay. Frost, if you want, you can bank some up. You can go for a second. We can go for some back-to-back Frost replays if you wish. And yeah, we'll make sure to cast
See
that.
it all.
There you go. Make sure to cast that.
See the evolution
with Asher maybe next time. Our next broadcast, if it isn't going to be tomorrow, our next broadcast on the CranKy Ducklings is going to be on Friday with World Team League. World Team League will be upon us on Friday, on Saturday, and Monday, I believe. We're skipping Sunday. Sunday, there won't be WTL. It's going to be moved over to Monday instead.
Yeah. Wait. Oh! Yeah, funny how that works out.
There you go.
Yeah, I think there's something on that day.
Yes. So if you want to tune into our next broadcast, World Team League will be upon us. I'll be casting that with Asher and maybe a day or two with Yaku as well, depending on how things go. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. Yaku, do you have anything you want to say before we head off for the night?
I have seen Dark Ravager Sky Toss many times. However that copy pasta goes.
You'll love to see it. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bella.